say 100, 300. But I'd be willing to bet a lot of them don't know about Pangea. And when you start posting about it, now that you're going to become a beauty ecologist, which I know you are, you're going to become a beauty ecologist. You're basically taking something that you believe in, and everybody, for example, why do you use Pangea?
I like the philosophy of the company, for one thing. I've listened to you on the radio, and that's where I first heard about the product. I heard you on the radio once, then I went to Whole Foods and looked for it. And I thought, I gotta check this stuff out. So I like the ingredients.
So isn't it great that we live in a time where you can take something that you believe in at that level, which is very rare. I mean, how many people have products that they buy in their lives that they really truly believe in the philosophy behind the company from the ground up, and you can share that with all your friends and family and actually make a little extra income on the side for it. And that's the beautiful thing about it. It's like there's amazing companies all over the world, but until we figure out a way to mobilize them through our own networks, some of the biggest companies in natural foods are tiny compared to the rest of the world. I was on a panel for the Sustainable Packaging Summit in Orlando a month ago, and I was on the panel with the CMO of Nestle. And they sell $98 billion worth of junk food a year. 98 billion. I mean, think about how much stuff that is. Completely unconsciously just plundering food and ingredients from all over the world. And we as a community actually have the ability to build a sustainable brand based on our own power as individuals in groups, based on our ethics. And so to answer your question about makeup, the beautiful thing about this model is it's not just about skin care and body care and hair care. It's about anything that we can make that's shelf stable, that people are buying, we can make more consciously, more sustainably, and less expensive and get it out to people through this model. So as Pangea continues to grow, we're going to be asking our beauty ecologists, what would you like us to make next? And it's also, just in the past 6 weeks, it's not even just about what we're selling a whole concept of a new way of living. Like I post a lot of recipes for vegan cooking and packaging-free diet, and we've been at events in the past 4 weeks where people get up and say, I don't know why, but I became a beauty ecologist and I started eating more organic food. Now I go to yoga twice a week. And it's just this whole different concept of how we live and how we get information to people. Yes?
So I imagine this isn't something that you necessarily want to encourage, but is there any minimum amount of, you said there was no commitment to Pangea. Is there any minimum amount of order monthly or during a certain time that you have to maintain your account?
So it's another great thing. So normally in these companies, how many people here have had an experience with a direct sales company in their lives? How many people?
How many is that? I'm curious.
A lot, like 40%. And how many of you never want to do it again? Can someone speak to what your experience was and why?
Okay, well, my experience has been that there's just so much pressure to sell, push, and to just talk to everyone you know to sell a particular product, and it just felt very awkward to me. And then I've been on the receiving end of it too, where friends suddenly become salespeople, and I just want to have dinner or hang out. And like I recently found an amazing skincare product I liked and wanted to share with people, but the only way to do it was through MLM, and I just haven't told anyone about it. I get nauseous.
So what I decided a year ago when I decided I was going to go this way is that it's not our job to tell people what to do or how to do it. It's our job to create amazing products that they want to share. So like I said, once you become a beauty ecologist, it's our job to inspire you to want to share the Pangea brand, whether it's some of the videos that I make. I spend a lot of time traveling to where the farms are to introduce people to the farmers and how the ingredients are processed and grown, and like sharing those videos on your Facebook. It's not our job to tell you, you need to hit this many amount of sales every month, you need to hire this many people, because that's what I didn't like about direct sales. What we wanted to create was really cool things that you want to share, that you enjoy sharing, and not something that you were doing because you needed to.
But don't you have to sign somebody up?
Nope.
To be a real, to be a, what do you call it?
Beauty ecologist?
Well, no, to be to be this, to the system, usually you have to, you know, sign
Yeah,
people
yeah.
up, and then you get a piece of their pie and.
But you don't have to. So you can be a beauty ecologist. For example, you could become a beauty ecologist, and you're gonna get 20% off of your products for being a beauty ecologist, and you can remain a beauty ecologist that way. Eventually, one of your friends is gonna become a beauty ecologist because you've talked to her about it. And maybe it's like 1 or 2 people under you, and it could be that forever.
Oh, so I would get a piece of their pie,
Yes,
okay.
if that's the direction that you wanna go. But you don't have to. You can be a beauty ecologist and never recruit anybody ever, right? I mean, it's not obviously what we want, but that's how we made it. We made it so that you can become a beauty ecologist, and we're just honored to have you as a beauty ecologist. We're not pushing you to do anything. But there is a large support around people who do want to learn how to be more active. And so today we spent the entire day at Lori and Jeff's house with our director of sales and our CBO with about 30 or 40 beauty ecologists, really empowering people to make changes. I mean, a lot of people come to us and they say, you know, I'm an introvert and I don't like selling things and this isn't really my thing, but I love Pangea and I became a beauty ecologist. And a lot of people are really inspired by the fact that they had their first party and all of a sudden they realize they are good at it, because it's not really selling, it's just sharing. You're not showing up and doing this laser PowerPoint on the antioxidant content of our ingredients. It's people just using it and saying, you know what, I like this. That's great.
I was just going to say, most of the people in this room are probably here because of some inspirational moment with somebody else, you know, about a vegan lifestyle. And so, voila, you share something that you're passionate about. You're not forcing anybody to be here, but they're attracted to it, and now there's this group of people here.
I just thought everyone ate mushrooms. Yes.
Can you put a link on your website, and would that link go to the Pangea
Yep.
/
So what you get is within a minute of you signing up, you literally get your own URL. And what you do with that URL is totally up to you. It's just like any other URL. You can post it in blogs, you can buy Google AdWords for it, you can put it in an ad, you can spray paint it inside bathroom stalls. I mean, it's just a URL just like any other URL. So when people go to it and buy product, you're getting the commissions for it.
Also, have you come out with any pet line at all?
Not yet.
Is that in the works?
Not in the works, but I would say that probably it's a good bet within 5 years we'll probably be creating pet products.
Pangea pet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Go ahead and break. I have a few questions. I love the concept. I've had that icky feeling about MLM. Would this be considered MLM?
It's not technically an MLM, so there's all these different words. It's
What's
MLM. This is called party plan. So party plan means that it's mostly sold through parties.
Okay.
And everything has like a different definition. And you can look at it and you can say it's an MLM, but you know, a lot of what I've been doing is really getting people to remove that judgment
Right.
around
yeah.
it, because
Yeah, I just didn't know what to term it,
Yeah.
but I love the whole idea of the redistribution of wealth and the importance of that to especially support, you know, companies that do have a sustainable, what products are not vegan? I'm just curious about that.
So everything up here is vegan. The only things that we use that aren't vegan is we use organic beeswax and honey. And we do use the beeswax in the body lotions, a couple of the facial creams, and the lip balm. And the honey is in one of the facial cleansers.
But not all of them.
Not all of them, no. But everything that you see up here is actually vegan,
So, what,
including this hand cream that I'm going to pass around.
in the redistribution, of the, you know, the margins and all of that?
Yep.
How much more are the farmers actually getting?
That's a great question, which no one's asked yet, which I love. So, the way a brand works is when you're a small brand, it's very difficult to have direct relationships with farmers, because farmers take down their crop and sell it to a distributor, and then you buy through the distributor. Over the past 13 years, as Pangea has been growing, we've been able to have more and more direct relationships with farmers. So right now, 4 of our ingredients are fair trade certified. But fair trade certified, to me, is kind of a weak certification. I like what they call face certified, which means I've actually met the farmer and have negotiated the prices with them to make sure that they're getting their needs met and our needs are met. And so as Pangea grows through this model, my personal goal is that within 3 years, we have direct relationships with 80% of the farms that are growing our ingredients. The cool thing about what we're doing, which I actually didn't, I'm glad you brought this up. So, I'm trying to figure out where to start this. So, for those of you who don't know, 40% of America's wealth is owned by 0.5% of the population, which is, it's kind of mind-boggling to think about. And if you haven't seen this video yet, there's a video flying around the interweb called The Inequality of Wealth in America. It's about a 5-minute video and it will blow your mind. It was based on some findings from a couple of Harvard professors. And so that wealth was created by our consumerism. There's not even like a fuzzy line. It's like when we spend money, we're voting with our dollars and we're literally feeding that concept, that 40% of the wealth. And in this model, we're saying, no, we don't want to do that anymore. We're redirecting this wealth amongst more people. Then we took it a step further. When you go onto the Pangea Organics website, there's something called the Pangea Community Bank, where we created a bank on our website. And it looks kind of like a Pinterest board. Any beauty ecologist can go up there and nominate a nonprofit or a cause that they would like to fund through the Pangea Community Bank. 1% of all our profits go into the Pangea Community Bank in real time throughout the year. Every April 22nd, starting in 2014, you'll be able to go on there and vote. So every beauty ecologist in the world will actually be able to go and vote, and those dollars will be allocated towards those projects that we've all voted upon.
So back to the original question that you had about should I buy it at Pangea or should I buy it through, you know, you remember that you're really making a statement about what you want to
Redistribution.
exactly about redistribution when you buy it direct from a beauty ecologist.
I understand that.
But sometimes, like Vitamin Cottage, when I go there, sometimes they would have a cream on sale, and it's a good price. How can I compete with that?
You're also going to have, all the sales are going to be harmonized. So the beauty ecologists are going to have a lot of the same sale calendars as the retailers. But in most of the country, I mean, we're only sold about, we pull, as of Friday, we will have stopped shipping to all of our retailers around the country, which is about 40% of Pangea's sales. So I know it seems like in Boulder, Pangea is everywhere, but we only sell right now, we've limited our retail presence to about 520 stores. So, you know, when you're thinking about becoming a beauty ecologist, know that you have friends in your community, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, all over the world. And right now, you have access to bring anybody that's in your network within the United States into this model.
That was my question. What about our international?
We're saying that in about 18 months, we're going to go international, where right now we're growing like this, and we just have to make sure we have the inventory for this. Yes?
How have your retailers reacted to this model? Are they big enough to not be angry at you, or are they small and mad?
It's a great question. You know, we have a pretty healthy growth. Whole Foods is our major retailer in the country, and I was very transparent with them. And I said, you know, I think that they're actually both going to grow simultaneously. I think that the beauty ecology model is going to grow a lot faster than retail. But the reality is, it's creating so much buzz around the country that the sales have been growing at Whole Foods. And my friend Will Paradise, who's also a vegan, he's the president of Whole Foods, called me up for a meeting about a month ago because there was a lot of buzz happening and he had some concerns, so it's the buyer. And I went to his office and he like jokingly said, so what's up with the pyramid scheme? And I said, you're a pyramid scheme. Yeah, and he's like, what do you mean? And I like drew it out on his whiteboard and he's like, damn, you're right. But you know, we have 30% year-over-year growth with them. So they just wanted us to be fully transparent with what's going on, and they said as long as you're supporting our stores and you know you're doing well here, we really don't care what you're doing. We're just stoked that Pangea is growing, and we're one of the companies that is microfinanced through Whole Foods as well. Yes.
Will your products ship throughout the world?
No.
Not for 18 months.
Oh, the 18 months, you can't recruit anyone, let's call that, for 18 months, but you can't also sell to anyone like in a different country.
No, we sell through distributors into retailers in 15 different countries, but that's completely separate from this model. Right now, this is only in the United States,
Okay.
which is a lot of people.
What percent